Hi everyone, Miss Johnson here, ready to give you another awesome math lesson. Today we're going to be learning about fractions. We've been building up to this point so far, and I feel that we are ready. So far, we've learned that a whole can be cut into different equal pieces, and they all have to be the same size and shape. We've learned about halves, when there are two equal parts in a whole that makes it a half. And we've also learned about fourths and quarters. Fourths is when you cut a whole into 4 equal parts, and quarters is another way to describe fourths. Now today we are just going to be talking about 1/2. What is 1/2? 1/2 is a fraction, and I have my whiteboard here to show you what a fraction looks like. A fraction tells us two things. It tells us how many equal parts are shaded in, and it also tells us the number of equal parts that the whole has altogether. Now, our fraction has a top and a bottom part. The top is called the numerator, and the bottom is called the denominator. Repeat those after me. Numerator and denominator. The way I like to remember this is numerator is the number of shaded parts, number, top, and denominator is down, down, denominator, down, denominator. So that is the way I like to remember. Denominator down, numerator number. So that's just some little tips that you can use to help remember which goes on top and which goes on bottom. But remember, the top is the number of shaded parts we have in the whole, and the bottom is how many parts there are all together. So just looking at this fraction 1/2, because that's how we read this fraction, I know that there's going to be 2 equal parts in my whole, and I know that there's only going to be 1 shaded part. So on this side, I'm going to draw this fraction. Okay, so here I have a circle. It has 2 equal parts. So in my fraction, I can see that there are 2 parts. So that's what I did. I drew 2 parts to my circle. Now, I also know in my fraction, the numerator wants me to only have 1 shaded part. And that's what I did. I have 1 shaded part in, or we can say that 1/2 of the shape is shaded in. You will have shapes that may have more than 2 parts in the denominator, and half of it is colored in. For example, I'm going to draw a square that is cut into fourths. So that means it has 4 equal parts. Here's my square cut into fourths, 4 equal parts. I'm going to shade in 2 of my parts. So now I have 2 of my 4 parts shaded in. But as you can see, half of this square is shaded in. So half of the square is shaded in. So I would also say 1/2 of the square is shaded in. Even though it doesn't have 2 equal parts, I do know that 1/2 is shaded in, but it does have 2 equal sides. With this being empty and this being shaded in, they look like they're the same size. So that is why it's okay to say that there's 2 equal parts and half is shaded in, just 1/2. So no matter what the shape is, whether it's a triangle, circle, square, if half of the shape is shaded in, we will use the fraction 1/2, or you can just use the other fraction that goes with it to describe the parts and the parts of the whole, but we're not going to get into that today. So going back to my fraction, I have 1/2, and originally I had my circle cut into 2 equal parts, and I only had one side shaded in. That shows 1/2. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw different shapes, and I want you to decide and help me decide which ones show 1/2 and which ones do not. I will also show you another way that you can also write 1/2 that you will see in our Google form today, so you don't get confused when you see it. Okay, so what I did here is I drew 5 different shapes, and I also split them into equal parts, and I shaded some of the equal parts in. Now we're going to go through each shape, and you are going to decide if this shape shows 1/2. Remember, 1 is the top, the numerator, and the 2 is the bottom, that's the denominator. So I'm going to draw that right here on the side, 1/2. And each time that we decide that it is 1/2, you're going to give a thumbs up. If you don't think it's 1/2, then just give a thumbs down. All right, so here's our first example. This shape has 2 parts and 1 part is shaded in. The denominator, which is down, is the number of parts that it has. It has 1, 2, so that matches. And the top, the numerator, is how many parts are shaded in, or if 1/2 of the shape is shaded in. And it looks like it is. Next one, we have a squarish, rectangular shape. It has 2 parts and 1/2 is shaded in. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you think that this equals or shows 1/2. If you said thumbs up, good job. There's 1 part shaded in, so the numerator is correct, and there's 2 equal parts, so the denominator is correct as well. And we know that 1/2 of this shape is shaded in, so we can also use this fraction as well. Next one, let's look at this one. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. This says that we need only 2 equal parts. So far that doesn't really match up. And we only have 1 shaded in. Now it does match the 1 shaded in, but is 1/2 of the shape all shaded in? No, it is not. So that is a thumbs down. And the reason why is because 1/2 of the shape is not shaded in. So although this matched the top part of our fraction, the numerator, it did not have the same equal parts that is shown, and 1/2 of the shape was not shaded in. Next, we have ourselves a triangle. I split it in half, so it has 2 equal parts, so it matches that part, but the problem is there's none shaded in. So does this show a 1/2 as a fraction? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Thumbs down. The 2 parts are not shaded in at all, so it does not match that. 1/2 of the shape isn't shaded either. So I would say this is not a fraction. Last, I have my rectangle square shape left. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. We know parts is on the bottom. That so far does not match up, because you need 2 equal parts or 1/2 shaded in. And I have 1, 2, 3 parts shaded in. That's not matching because this says we only have 1 part shaded in or 1/2 side shaded in. So does that mean it's 1/2? Yes or no? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Thumbs down. This would not be 1/2. Even though this half is shaded in, it has a part on this side shaded in, so it does not look like our shapes that only have 1/2 of it colored in. Good job, guys. So don't forget, let's review. I'm going to redraw my fraction. Okay, so don't forget, our numerator is at the top. It is the number of shaded sides. For 1/2, that could be the number of shaded sides, or it could be if 1/2 of the shape is colored in. The bottom, down denominator. That is the number of equal parts you can have in a shape. Now, for 1/2, it's the special fraction. If 1/2 of the shape is colored in, no matter how many equal parts it has, you would use this fraction. Now, on the Google form, you will see the fraction written this way. Sideways. This is the way you've learned today, but this is how you are going to see it on the Google form. Sometimes the computer doesn't always put it up and down how we like to have it the nice way. So when you see this, know that this also means 1/2. This line is the line that lets us determine the numerator and the denominator. So this would be considered the top, the numerator, and this one will be considered the bottom, the denominator. Alright guys, that's all I have for you today. Now you're going to go into your Google form and you are going to practice the same things that we are practicing today. And then we'll continue this throughout the week. Yes, it can be a little bit confusing, but as long as you just remember, the top is the numerator. It tells us the number of shaded sides. The bottom is the denominator, and it tells us how many equal parts we have. You will be good to go. Alright, see you later. Bye.